So before I get into explaining how Candace comes from Michael Jackson, I want to show you guys how Ryan Destiny is literally a copy and paste younger version of Candace Owens. All right, they look so much alike, it's ridiculous. I was actually disgusted putting together these side by sides. Here's another side by side that I made of the two of them. And here's another side by side. You can see the eye spacing is very similar. The nose is very similar. However, they did make Candace nose wider, and then they gave Ryan a tinier nose. They do this a lot whenever they want to make a character seem as if they're cute or attractive. With the female characters, they tend to give them bigger eyes and a tinier nose to give this childlike look, which is really creepy, and I'll probably get into on Patreon. So I recommend you guys go get the Patreon. There's a lot of content on there that cannot be talked about on here. With these characters that they try to push as attractive, they try to give them this kid-like pouty look, and we could just see that going on with these two characters. I find that to be like the only difference between them. So here's another side by side of the two of them, and literally just copy and paste, and I couldn't believe this stuff. And another side by side, I feel like they look so much alike. Now I am going to show you guys that Ryan is mixed with another character and how they made her character. So look at this, Candace and Ryan both equal 22 in the reduction cipher. So these characters are very much connected to each other, and 22 is connected to dead. So I wouldn't be shocked if either one of these characters decides to be a death faker. Candace seemed like a type of character they will run like a death, a fake death with. Her character is hated and very controversial, so people would basically get off from that. It's like with the entire Kevin Samuels thing, and I have a video on Kevin Samuels that you guys can go and check out. So Candace Owens, she comes from Michael Jackson, all right? And not just regular Michael Jackson, but the kid version of Michael Jackson. So I've explained in the past that there are certain characters who are made from different eras of other characters' life. So in the case of this, Candace comes from young Michael. All right, so different stages of Michael. This is why they edit these characters. I have a video on Patreon about how they are changing these characters, and it's like a double-edged sword. Like they do this to like confuse people and like admit that they're characters, and they also do this to, well, actually it's multiple reasons why they edit these characters so much. First thing they do is for to mock you, all right? So they're mocking people for thinking that is surgery, but all that they're doing is editing these characters. Second, they do it to get you to follow a trend and be insecure and just try to keep up with whatever they're pushing, you know what I'm saying? And then third reason they do it is because they're going to end up making another character later that's off of the image that they look like right now. So they end up editing them to advance them so they can look different and not like their other character. Like Michael Jackson in his last form did not look like Candace, right? But his earliest form looks identical to Candace, all right? So they do this a lot. So here's a side-by-side that I made. It was very easy, and it's actually very disgusting that they are doing this. So a lot of things are similar on these two characters, and this also means that Ryan is mixed with Michael Jackson. Ryan literally is 80% of Candace, all right? 80 or like 60% of Candace. So that means she has percentages of Michael Jackson in her. After so long, you start to realize that these characters are all mixed with each other, and that's the crazy part of all of this. So here's a connection between Candace and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's born on the 29th. Candace Owens is born on the 29th of April. All right, and what is the connection between April and August? The A, all right? The 2 months with the A. And then they just so happen to be born on the 29th, so they have the same birth number. Speaking of birth numbers, and we can also get on the topic of life paths and stuff like that, the readings are back on the Enlightenment tier, so just join the Enlightenment tier, hit us up. There's a little note that could tell you the walkthrough, just, private message us. Join the Enlightenment tier if you're interested in getting a birth number reading and a life path reading, okay? So look at this. MJ and Candace both match with 31 in the ordinal and reverse cipher, so these characters are very connected. Again, I want to repeat this. What is the chances that they are both born on the 29th? All right, that is very crazy to me. And she's literally the younger version of him. All right, that is insane. And they match with 31 in a reverse and ordinal cipher. Now let's talk about how Destiny, because Ryan Destiny, okay, that's her name, matches to Michael with 33 in a reduction cipher. All right, that is insane. So here's Ryan's other character. Ryan is also mixed with Lauryn Hill. Now I have videos on the past about Lauryn Hill because Lauryn Hill, see, she comes from Oprah, all right? And so then that's his own little web of characters, all right? And so here's basically what Ryan Destiny is. She is a split mixture of these two characters. I think even Candace crosses over to being one of the characters in Lauryn Hill's group, because again, whenever they give them a male character, they also give them a female character. So she does actually look like Oprah. The more that I look at Candace, she looks like her. So all of them are the same. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but all of them are the same. When they made these characters, they made them from the exact same template. This is very intense. The fact that I can put these two photos together and they look so much alike, like their nose to their mouth, the spacing in between, it's like the same. Their nose is identical. Their eye spacing, their eyebrows. Come on, this is like intense. And all of the characters are inverted. So you have to understand that. And when I say inverted, I don't just mean that Candace is just a man, okay? Because that is not exactly what's going on here, because she looks like Kid Michael and Kid Michael looks like a girl because of the wide eye spacing, etc. That usually is common on girls, okay? So what's going on here is that there are multiple in one, okay? Like they're boy girl at the same time, and sometimes double of one gender. It's really confusing, and they purposely do this to just like, you know, confuse everybody. Either way, I always say you should not have a crush on celebrities because it's very weird, because they're always tricking you. I have a video on Pharrell where I was showing Miguel with Mariah Carey, and Miguel looked just like a girl but also a guy at the same time, but his body was like a girl. And then Mariah Carey, most people will automatically think that they see a female, but then her body looks like a linebacker, like in that photo, like she looks like a guy. So it's always confusing, you know. And one thing I noticed with the female characters, I've said this in the past, is that they make the female character's image off of a little boy, okay? So it's never really even female to begin with, because it's like, if you look at them, they look like young, undeveloped boys, okay? So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Oprah is the female-based character of these three characters, and Michael is the male-based character of these three characters right here. So they're all interconnected. It's like a web of characters that are all interconnected, and it's crazy, and this needed to be brought up. And you guys have to realize, to be detached to these characters, they are made, all right? So learn to be detached to them. Know that these videos are to stop you from idolizing celebrities and making them the main focus of your life. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much.